I'm Ben Thomas. Harvard University, the focus of Trump administration ire today for defying its demands to limit activism on campus. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The president made it clear to Harvard, follow federal law, no longer break Title VI, which was passed by Congress to ensure no student can be discriminated against on the basis of race, and you will receive federal funding. Unfortunately, Harvard has not taken the president or the administration's demands seriously.
Julie Walker reports the government's freezing some $2.2 billion in grants and $60 million in contracts.
Trump's administration has called for reforms at the university, including its admissions policies, an audit of student faculty views, and reporting on foreign students. The hold on Harvard's funding marks the 7th time President Trump's administration has taken the step at one of the nation's most elite colleges in an attempt to force compliance with Trump's political agenda. I'm Julie Walker.
A quieter day in the trade war as President Trump considers the delay of auto tariffs that led to a quieter day on Wall Street, with stocks closing lower but not as dramatically. The Dow lost 155 points or 0.4%. The S&P slipped 0.2%, the Nasdaq less than 0.1%. A federal judge in Maryland has been questioning the Trump administration about its continued refusal to retrieve Kilmar Abrego Garcia from a prison in El Salvador, despite a Supreme Court order to facilitate his return. Meantime, President Trump's been talking about shipping U.S. citizens convicted of violent crimes to El Salvador. The AP's Nicholas Riccardi on the legality of that idea.
He can't strip natural-born citizens of their U.S. citizenship. But if somebody came to the U.S. as an immigrant and earned their citizenship, there are a couple of very specific reasons that the government can move to rescind their citizenship. They'd have to prove something like funding of terrorist organizations or lying on their naturalization application.
This is AP News. Joe Biden's making a return to the national stage this evening. Sagar Meghani has a preview.
It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president.
Like most recent ex-presidents, he's largely avoided speaking in public since leaving office.
Incompetent Joe Biden.
Even as his successors often attacked him. Today, Biden's expected to fight back during a speech in Chicago focused on Social Security, an issue that could define next year's midterm elections. The Trump administration has slashed the program's workforce, and advisor Elon Musk has called Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme ever. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt had this.
My first reaction when seeing former President Biden was speaking tonight was, I'm shocked that he is speaking at nighttime. I thought his bedtime was much earlier.
I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Hapaday, Tirawami, greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news, from a beautiful place with Pacific views, it's always so much fun on Good Morning, Marianas.
Good morning, Marianas. It is hump day. That's right, it's Wednesday out here, April 16th. The day of reckoning for GPPC. Well, okay, maybe not. But they did say today was the day. Is the road work done? No. Are they going to finish it by midnight? No. But I love it. I love it. I think they just got to work on their communication. Managing expectations. It's all right. Hey, I'm not crying, but I'm just saying. I doubted it. Yep. Yes, you can call me Vanilla Ambrose. I've been saying it for years. Man, I'll tell you, it is a lot closer to being done. And I know we're getting there, but we are definitely not there. And there was no way No way they could get done by the 16th. But that's all right. They got a lot done, and so we'll give them some love. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't hire them to do another road project. They should not. They should not. Guaranteed they've got cost overruns too, but they should be fined and all that stuff. But okay, let's get past it. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. It is gorgeous outside. It is kind of perfect. It's not too dry. It's not crazy hot. It is just a nice Marianas day. It's 82 degrees outside right now in sunny Saipan. We're looking at mostly sunny skies today, high near 85. It's going to be a little breezy, gusts as high as 23 miles per hour, but the humidity is going to keep getting lower. Right now, 79% up there at the Saipan International Airport. Not bad at all. We got to love it. You got to absolutely love it. So thanks for coming in with joining us this morning. Another day here on Good Morning Marianas. I want to remind you, you're just a big part of this show, just as much as me. You can give us a call, 789-2323, 670-789-2323. You can call the show, be on the show. When we have guests, you can even call and ask them questions. That's how it works. Holy cow. Good morning, Norman. Great to see you. Got a lot of folks in here this morning from all over, too. I want to say thanks. Tobot Castro, the man, the myth, the legend. Great to see you in here, my friend. Also, Travis Jones, Mr. Last Shot himself. You know, Last Shot Bar's 4th anniversary is coming up. Maybe you should call us, Travis. Give us a call on the phone real quick, 789-2323. And let's tell everybody all about it, because it's pretty exciting. You guys hitting 4 years old this month. That is just outstanding. And you're definitely going to be well hydrated when you go there. Oh, I don't know where that went. Okay, there we go. You're going to be well hydrated when you go there. They got great service and they got great folks, and you'll just be happy when you go. They are a lot of great folks over there. I want to say good morning to Norman. Good morning, Bobby Torres. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Great to see you this morning, too. Really outstanding. Absolutely love seeing you this morning. Gus, Lesser 1Y, so much love for you, man. Thanks so much for being on here. Piling Gazetmo, all the way in Guam. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. Carmen Pangilinan, good morning. Great to see you. Thanks for coming back again. Always great to see you guys. And Juan Hooka, good to see you again this morning. Thanks for getting in here and joining us this morning. Really, absolutely love it. And I get to see you guys. I can see it in the comments and on the Good Morning Marianas page. There are people who say, hey, wait, how come you didn't say hi to me? I'm like, I can't actually see everybody who's watching. I can see you guys when you hop in the comments. The folks over there on the Good Morning Marianas page, I can actually see them. Funny enough, because of how that works. But you know what? I could probably work something out over here. If I switch the accounts over here. The way it works on your desktop is different than the way it works on the old cell phone. So it's kind of challenging to see, but there's a way to do it. So I'll figure it out. Good thing I got 2 cell phones over here. One is for the show and one is for me. And so I'm usually watching the one that's for me. Hold on, let me turn this one down. There we go. All right, so can I actually see? That's the problem. I wonder if I'm able to see the people who just comment or the people pop up over there. But anyway, good morning, Eric Mothnas. Thanks for joining us this morning. Great to see you, fellow veteran in the house. PK Daigo, man, you have no idea. The freight train that is coming on your birthday. My goodness, that should be a lot of fun. That's going to be a big party for sure. We're all looking forward to that. We are. That's going to be fun. All right. We got a lot to get to today, a lot of fun stuff. But before we get to the fun stuff, let's talk about stuff that isn't exactly fun stuff. We got a bad guy out there in Saipan that we need to find. And it's going to take all of us to do it. So we're going to count on you guys to help us out. Let me see. Hold on. Wait. Can I raise this volume? For sure. Hold on. Looking forward to that. We are. All right. I just needed to cancel that volume part. Luisa Cabrera, great to see you this morning. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so like I was saying, we got a bad guy in the community right now. And there was a story that we posted on Facebook yesterday that we were able to get to you to let you know about it. We posted on Facebook, Instagram, We even posted it up on YouTube. But apparently, what ended up happening, there's a guy who stole a fundraising jar for someone's family. And it's for a medical referral, and it was at the XK store. And it's the saddest thing that ended up happening. We got a message from DPS. Simon Manikop said, hey, Criminal Investigation Bureau is looking for everybody's assistance on this one. So let's show you what it is. Here, we just called this video Bad Guy. That's him right there. And I don't say allegedly for this guy because you can see him in the act of doing it. That's the guy. Now, a lot of people have sent his name, but I don't know, and it's not confirmed, so I'm not going to throw any names out there or rumors with the wrong name. But watch his right hand. He's like going to distract the lady. Hey, look, I'm all friendly. And here, let me grab this little jar and pop it in here. Like, it's just not awesome. We'll go back and watch it again. We're just going to keep this thing on a loop for a little while so you guys can see it. But he does this crafty move. Like, look at me. Here it comes. You'll be able to see. There, he's got his little snacks and his little, well, we'll put that in the bag. All right, yeah, I'll just mess things around a little bit. Hey, you need some change? Let me be your pal. Yeah. Hey, see that over there? Can you get me that cigarette or something? Yeah, I'm going to slip this little thing into the bag. Yep, everything's cool. Don't mind me. Oop, there we go. Just like that. Yeah, I don't need this little bread in the bag. I'll just take your fundraising jar. Right there. I mean, geez, this dirtbag. All right, so now I know, again, there's a lot of folks in the comments who are talking about who this is and all this other stuff, but you guys need to you could message us. When you guys have messaged us, we forwarded everything over to DPS. We didn't include anybody's names. Now, if you put it in the comments section, everybody can see it, right? But if you post it on there and it is, like, if it's on there, everyone's going to see it. But if you direct message us, then everything that we send to DPS is, clear. Then we're not going to tell them your name. We can't help you if you put it in the comment section. All right. So anyway, that's it. That's the guy. That's the action. That's the actual video. It's not the best looking video. It's a video of the screen. You see, it's moving around a lot too. I'm not that guy who shot the video, so I'm not that cool. But this is the video that's available online too. So. So, the worst part is that, we saw what people said about it, that it's a jar for medical referral. I just can't believe. I mean, how bad you got to be? It's a fundraising thing, right? And, you want to think the best of people. You want to think that they're all right. And look he's even being friendly. He asked for that little thing. Look at the lady even that he's helping is smiling, thinking, oh, he's a nice guy. Look, he's smiling. He's going to be a friend. Oh, look at that. Nope. Boom. Totally just abusing the trust of nice folks in our community. That's what this guy is. That's what he did. Is he damned for life? No. But you got to get this guy. And DPS needs to get this guy. And it can't be one of those all suspended except for 90 days, right? I mean, maybe. 90 days is kind of a lot for something like this too, right? I don't know if he's got a history and all that stuff, but whatever it is, they got to get him. Anyway, good morning. I see you in the comments there, Lou. Good to see you. Thanks for being in here today. Thanks for coming back and watching the show. Oh, Lord of the Donuts. I was really excited about these donuts. Yep. Anyway, let's see what's up. Yay, that looks good. Just saying that looks good about the meetings that people are messaging me about. So I'm excited about that. So that's it. Beating that dead horse. We ended up making a little video about it and posting it yesterday. And, I guess I could probably, hold on, let me, here. I can add that thing on here real quick. Let's just do that. Called BG2, which is Bad Guy 2. All right, hold on. In case you didn't see it. I had a lot of fun making it, so that's why I'll put it on there real quick. It wasn't what I planned on popping on here for today. I'll give you the one with the eagle. I did one with the eagle and one without the eagle. The one that we had on there. That's great. I did one with and without the eagle. And should I just give you the eagle? Yeah, I'm just going to give you the eagle. Because the eagle, I love it. I love the eagle because it's so unnecessary. But after the word justice, I have it on there. And I put eagle on there after the word justice because I just think it seems like it should fit. All right, so here's the video itself. And I don't think I'll be able to hear it, but you can. The Department of Public Safety needs your help to find the man in this photo. The DPS Criminal Investigation Bureau is seeking the community's assistance to identify the person responsible for stealing a donation jar from the cashier's counter at XK Market in Chalakanoa. The incident was reported to DPS this morning at 7:28 a.m., and now they need your help to bring this man to justice. If you have any information, please call DPS at 670-664-9001. You can even send a direct message to the NMI News Service Facebook page, and your information will remain anonymous. If you know this man, call us or message us. And remember, the CNMI is a safer place when we all work together. All right, so I didn't actually get to hear it, but you guys could. I don't know why. One day I'll figure out that setting that lets me hear that too. But I had a lot of fun with it. So I'll play them back to back just so in case you didn't know the difference. Hold on, I've got them right here. I'll have them and they'll be way easier. I'll be able to hear both of them. 15 April, there's there's that one with the eagle, and this is the one without it. All right, this I will definitely be able to hear. All right, so here's the original. Here's the original.
Okay, we'll still send a code 3.
The Department of Public Safety needs your help to find the man in this photo. The DPS Criminal Investigation Bureau is seeking the community's assistance to identify the person responsible for stealing a donation jar from the cashier's counter at XK Market in Chalakanoa. The incident was reported to DPS this morning at 7:28 a.m., and now they need your help to bring this man to justice. If you have any information, please call DPS. All right, so that's it. This man to justice. But it sounds so much better when you add in the eagle scream.
Okay, we'll still send a code 3.
The Department of Public Safety needs your help to find the man in this photo. The DPS Criminal Investigation Bureau is seeking the community's assistance to identify the person responsible for stealing a donation jar from the cashier's counter at XK Market in Chalakanoa. The incident was reported to DPS this morning at 7:28 a.m., and now they need your help to bring this man to justice. If you have any information, please call DPS at 670-664-9001. I didn't post it. You can even send a direct message I to didn't the post it NMI with the Facebook eagle, page, but I made that in there. I just thought, like, the only thing I could have done more than that was to throw a video of a screaming eagle going across it. But something about hearing the word justice just seems like you gotta have an eagle scream in there, like right afterwards. That was just for you guys. That was just for fun. I had to have a little bit of fun, and somebody had to hear it, so it's you guys. It's so dumb. But, I mean, hey, this guy ended up doing bad stuff, so I hope we end up getting him. And I hope the folks over at DPS, and it won't be because they don't receive a ton of announcements and tips, because everybody and their brother messaged me about this, like everybody. And it was good. Did they find the guy? I don't know, but I'm sure they're looking for him. Hold on one second. Let's find out. You're wondering, what am I doing? So I'm just messaging our contacts with DPS to find out. I'm like, hey, all kinds of folks are messaging about this and posting about it. So do we have any updates? So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's still relatively early. We'll see if they reach out and they let us know what happened. If they end up saying, yeah, that's the guy, and we got him, great. Usually what they end up doing, they'll send us a message with the guy's mugshot. So if that ends up happening, we'll post that and let you know about what's going on today. Yeah, Lord of the Donuts in any spelling sounds great, actually. I am definitely down for some of those donuts. I know you already sold them all, but definitely would have been interesting to get some. All right. Hey, we got some exciting news that's happening. We've got more ships coming our way. Can't tell you when. Can't tell you what ship it is. Can't tell you what kind or anything. But I know they're coming. This is exciting stuff. This is all over the place that it's happening. So if you think we had a good time so far, we got more cool stuff coming on the way. One thing to tell you about that's really exciting is the new... not the new, but the return of the VFW Chili Cook-Off. This is pretty cool. Here, let me whip this over here so I could tell you about it. It's the VFW Saipan Post 3457. It's the annual Chili Cook-Off, and it's free entry, but there's only limited spots. The Veterans of Foreign Wars Saipan Post 3457 is fired up to announce the return of the beloved Chili Cook-Off, happening Saturday, May 3rd, 2025. A lot going on that day. This flavorful showdown brings together the island's boldest chili chefs. Yeah, when you see them back together, it's tough. The boldest chili chefs to compete for bragging rights and prizes for the top three. Whether you're cooking or just tasting, it's always a great time. Here's the event details. It's going down Saturday, May 3rd. It's going to be at VFW Saipan Post 3457. It's open to the public, too. The folks who are in the contest, they can start setting up at 5 p.m. The judging's going to start at 6:30. Best part, entry is free. You want to try some taste? You can try some taste. I mean, you can go out there and try all the chili. The judges are going to get it first, but you can try it as well. And again, it's free. Now, there are only 10 cooking slots available. So if you want to get in, you've got to message us. I'll give you the contact information in a second, but there's prizes for the top 3 entries as picked by our judges. Now, the entry is fee, but the space is limited. So whether you think your chili's got what it takes or you just want to join the fun, you are welcome. And the past events have joined great crowds. It's been so much fun. And but I'll tell you, this is not just to open up a can and make it. This is really amazing chili that people make. And you can get in on it too. If you want to enter, you want to learn more, you can contact Jesse Stoll at Stoll, S-T-O-L-E, JJ2016 at gmail.com, or call 670-588-8988. Come hungry and ready for a good time, and we'll see you at the post. So I will put all of that real quick in our comment section for you so that you guys don't miss out. 1 second. Kapow, can that all fit in there? Yes, it can. So we'll post this on the actual Facebook page as well. But it's right there in the comment section, all the contact info and everything. So there you go. Yeah, Frank, there's not a ship that big. There's not a ship that big. I'll tell you what, though. The ship that is big enough can't fit here. If we had a carrier pull in, ooh, that's economic recovery in a box right there. Not only there's 5,000 people on that ship. Can you imagine all of a sudden we got like 5,000 tourists in one day? Bam! Like that. You think that's cool? We could literally, we probably don't have a hookup for this, so we can't literally. But if we did, we could literally plug in the CUC power grid to that carrier and power the whole island while they were here. And it would be like a no problem for them. I mean, that's crazy, right? That's the only ship that brings in economic recovery, Frank. But I'll tell you what, you think that's a good ship? You know what the best ship is? Friendship. I know. Look, if you're through your phone because of that, I'm sorry. But if you broke it, you should go down to iTeeny because they've got good deals on phones. Don't ask for better jokes. You can ask. I'll try. But that's about as good as you're going to get today. It says, maybe we need a container ship for industry. We'll start here. Hey, maybe. But I'll tell you what, those whole ideas about having the economy bumped up by, taking advantage of the current economic situation, that would be pretty cool if we were able to start doing manufacturing here again, and then being able to take advantage of, having it be made in the USA as opposed to somewhere else, and that would avoid those tariff restrictions. So that would be pretty good. We got some real creative folks. Our lawmakers, our congresswomen, they're all talking about this kind of stuff. So again, it's dealing with the things that we can deal with and taking advantage of the things that could possibly be a boon for us here in the CNMI while we can, and being smart enough to know that these opportunities exist and trying to make the most out of them. So keep forward thinking, you elected and appointed leaders of ours. You're doing your best. So let's see what we can do. Speaking of doing their best, my goodness, did you guys? Yesterday afternoon we saw the closing arguments between the Attorney General's office and the nice, great comment, by the way. It just slid in on our WhatsApp. Some of the best ones I can't tell you guys. Anyway, we saw the closing arguments for the Attorney General's office and defense for that whole Pala case. And what's that all about? Well, it's about a Chinese contractor who does just about everything, even though he's kind of a garment guy, a maintenance guy. He does shirts, he does Palas, he does all of it, right? And then that he did some work with his company on a Pala at the parole office. Well, the thing is, they said the parolees did the work, but then the other guy did the work. So what is really going on between this whole case? So here, I'll show you a little. Let me throw this video on while I reach over and grab the notebook I got here. You probably won't hear me great. Ooh, but maybe you will, because I'll use this microphone while I slide over on this other side. So this was a real interesting case. So basically, they're saying that there was some shenanigans going on at the parole office, but it's not limited to the parole office. That's the big part about this, because allegedly, there's this contractor who's been doing work for the CNMI government for some time. Again, this is all alleged. This is not stuff that they're saying is... in this case, they couldn't bring in all this stuff for the jury and everything because that's not part of the case. But the main thing is they're saying that this contractor has been doing deals and hooking people up with kickbacks for a long time, so that people who are doing business with this contractor are getting money back somehow, somewhere, and then they're doing it the improper way. So now, again, this is all the alleged stuff. This is the stuff that they're saying about. So let's do this. Let's go in and just talk about what the closing arguments were, because I've got the stuff here. So for the CNMI, you've got James Robert Kingman. He gave his closing remarks. Then the dual closing remarks you've got from the two defense counsels, where you've got Tone Uggan for Chui Lin Fu, and then you've got Jack Torres for Nick Regis, the former parole chief. By the way, people give this case a lot of run, and it is important, of course. But like we interviewed Nick Regis a while back before a parole hearing, and it was a great conversation. Really likable guy. He seems like he's really sharp. Really got to know him. In that conversation, felt like with his experience and everything in the mainland, and it seemed like he was going to be the right guy for the job. The other thing is that the experience that he had, that he brought back, and it seemed like he genuinely cared for the folks in the parole system. So this, when we heard about this, it was shocking and also kind of disappointing. But you find out what's happening. And you got to weigh it. I mean, I can't imagine this is easy for the jury either. The courtroom, I'll go into some of these notes here. The courtroom was packed, totally packed. There was a lot of family and friends in there. Not so much for Chui Lin Fu, but there were a lot of family and friends for Nick Regis. There were also a bunch of folks, like people from the media, were definitely in the house. a lot of folks from the Attorney General's office, also other defense attorneys that had nothing to do with the case. They were in there to see probably either they're interested in the case itself or they're interested in seeing how people do their closing arguments too. I mean, it's like if you're a big football fan, it's like watching another team play, not against your team. You just want to see how the other team plays in court. Some of the other things, Jack Torres was flanked. He had his brothers there also. Vince and Vic were there. Tone Uggan. Let's see who else was there. I think that's just about it. I put other notes about other people who were there later, but so many folks were there. Again, friends and family. Even the friends and family of the attorneys were there. Jim Bob Kingman, he started off by thanking the jury, and he mentioned that he gets 2 bites at the closing arguments, and he did. So he went, then Jack went, or then Tone, then Jack, and then Jim Bob. So anyway, he said, and some of this is going to be paraphrasing the notes that I got here too. So Jim Bob Kingman starts off by thanking the jury. He says, "You're gonna hear from me again after the defense guys, but whatever they say, it's not about their arguments. You're going to listen to the judge instruct you about the law. They're going to try and talk to you about the credibility. They're going to talk to you about evidence and circumstantial evidence." And as he gave his presentation, but he talked to them about what their duty was, and their duty is to just look at the evidence, and the evidence that's compiled by the whole that they put it through the case, and that's how they weigh and make their decision that this is the guy. Anyway, Jim gave a rather soft-spoken opening, and but measured and showed all about all these invoices. Showed the photos. Oh man, I got all these notes where I have all these questions about the photos and all that. Which, if we were there for the whole case, it would have been good to have and see if they asked these questions. But I would have asked these questions. How much info did you get from those photos themselves? It was photos of the actual the progress of the Pala Pala being built and everything, and it all comes down to. This Paul Paul. Anyway, he said that so it all comes down to this, that they did this work on this Pala Pala, and that the parolees ended up building the Pala Pala, but that it was built by this contractor, Chuilan Fu. Now, the thing is, Fu was contracted to do other work, but he was contracted to do that other work after the Pala Pala was done, is what happened. So this is what they're alleging again, that basically once they found out that Fu was billed to do all this stuff for the Pala Pala, it was after they found out that Fu was billed them for the Pala Pala, invoiced them for the Pala Pala and got paid, that they went ahead and came up with other projects to make up for all the money, and then they returned the initial money. I know it sounds confusing, and this is why it's going to be confusing for the jury, because if it's confusing to regular folks, if you're in that courtroom, the things that seem like they would be clear aren't 100% clear. So, again, it was an after-the-fact invoice, after-the-fact payment. All the evidence that the prosecution was showing shows that this stuff was done in June, but then these invoices didn't come out till like September, and then the payment was refunded in January of 24 after the investigation began. And so that's where they're saying, the defense is saying that, well, the refund for all of it was paid back when they realized they billed the wrong invoice, and it was a clerical error. And the prosecution is saying, hey, that's not a clerical error. You purposefully tried to scam the CNMI government, and then when you found out there was an investigation, you just had the guy pay it back. So, all right, let's get back to the closing argument. So this is Tone Uggan. Tone Uggan, he started at about 2:30, and he says, and
And his delivery was a lot different. He immediately went for the heartstrings for the juries, and he's a lot more animated. And he's like, "Hey, you realize this is gonna the decision that you guys make today is gonna affect these two men for the rest of their lives." And then he went through. He's like, "Do you know why we all have to stand when you walk in and walk out of the room? It's because of the respect of what you do and how important what you do is for the whole case and for the whole justice system." And so they thanked them for their journey, their service to the community. And of course, I mean, like, that's the way you do it. That was pretty good. Then he went through the investigation, and essentially the defense is saying, look, this investigation was flawed from the beginning, and you can't bring charges based on a flawed investigation. So the investigation is the foundation. If that thing is garbage, you can't do everything else, and you got to use the 5 W's. Who did the? Who is it? You know, the investigator got a PO and a tip that a vendor was trying to get paid for the inmate's work. The prosecution, he said the prosecution didn't even call the decision makers. He spoke with one of the commissioners. He says it's nothing more than a clerical error. And then they tried to make it sound like it was an issue of a personal relationship that would lead somebody to say something other than the truth. The other thing is he focused on the dimensions of the Pala Pala, and they showed pictures and said, hey, these pictures of this Pala Pala don't match the dimensions of the work that was on there. So there's a couple of projects going on at the same time, but apparently they weren't happening at the same time, according to the prosecution. Prosecution said they only came up with that second one after the fact to try and make it look like they did work at the same time. Right? So they're going back and forth. The second one was where. He said all the 5 W's. So the what was the size of the Pala Pala. The where is there another part of the building that's got a 33 by 20? All right, so that was part of it. He said the guy didn't even look around and check the other things, and that was it. He was taking shots at the poor investigation by the prosecution's investigator. He said when none of the folks who were on the stand could remember exactly when all of this happened. He said the why. Why would somebody go there and do work and get paid for work he didn't do? Does that make any sense? So he says that it failed all 5 W's, and he said the AG's investigation cannot be trusted. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty bold statement, right? Then, is this still tone? This is still tone. And then he reminded the jury that these men are innocent until proven guilty, and that the prosecution has the highest burden to prove this case, where it's like beyond reasonable doubt. He said maybe it's not enough. It's not like a 51%. Like it has to be beyond reasonable doubt. And he also said the investigator even misplaced his notes. He said that the prosecution failed the theft by deception, and then he said he also failed on conspiracy. And again, he tried to make that personal connection with the jury. He's like, this is my last chance to talk with you before you deliver. Like that's, I like that. I do like that delivery. Tone Huggin. Well done. All right. Then it was Jack Torres up, representing Nick Regis. I know they're both working together on this thing, right? And he was using Tone's laptop for it. There was quite a little technical issue trying to get that laptop to work again. Not sure what happened. It has nothing to do with Hunter Biden's laptop. It's not that kind of thing. All right. And Jack goes in pretty quick talking about, hey, the government only has circumstantial evidence, and that does not rise to the reasonable doubt burden that they have to meet. And he says, no matter what, that burden doesn't shift from the defense to the prosecution throughout the trial. No, that burden of beyond reasonable doubt stays at the prosecution's table the whole time. And so they haven't done it. Now, there were 8 people on the jury. 2 of them were alternates. It was pretty even split, 4 men, 4 women. And they all, we'll go past that in a second. Anyway,
the defense from Jack was basically saying it was an honest mistake. He said the people and the system are not perfect, and his delivery is a little more slow and methodical. And he did something really clever too. Anyway, but it's really slow and methodical. So you got Jim, who is pretty measured. Then you got Tone, who is trying to make that connection and being out there. And then you got Jack, who's kind of slowing it down. He raises it, does his inflections when he needs to. And then he was also poking at the investigators. He says, the government had not met its burden by presenting enough evidence to say that they had risen to beyond reasonable doubt. But he said that the investigators weren't that sharp. In fact, he said that the jurors by this point knew this case better than the government. Oh, crap. That was a pretty good burn, right? A pretty good jab. He says nobody can contest some things. Mr. Ray just didn't benefit from this mistake. The government got a good building by Mr. Fu. They paid the wrong people with this purchase order, but the mistake is done. He said all of the witnesses from the government, they all said that the work was done. That they did some screws, some wires, some lights. They covered the ceiling, outlets inside the building, but they didn't get paid for it. And then they said, with regards to the conspiracy charge, that there has to be a meeting of the minds, and that never happened. Well, it's not like the guy just showed up and started doing work, and then they just gave him an invoice for it, right? I mean, that's not how that works. So there must have been something. But anyway, he says, submitting a PO and obtaining a signature and payment doesn't prove that they actually had a meeting. Like, okay, that's interesting. So I wrote this. I'm like, my little note was like, so did they need to prove that they actually met to do some work? I mean, like, I don't know. Do you have to say, like, on September 12th they had a meeting about, I don't know. Just wondering if I got to keep better notes when I do stuff with the government. And he said the folks from procurement said the payment followed the proper procedure and no one called to push any payments. He said there was no testimony that the Palo Palo by the parolees was 20 by 33. The government said that Mr. Fu didn't do the work, but now we know. Initially said he didn't do any work, but now we know that why their story changed, because they said Mr. Fu did do work, but it was at a different time frame. He said the problem is that there were 2 projects ongoing. He did a lot of work, and that the government still owed him $3. And so he came out there. He had this ready to go in the chamber. He had 3 singles. He was holding up 3 crumpled $3 bills. I loved it. I loved the technique, of whipping that out. That was pretty neat. And this was cool too, or interesting too. He's like, why didn't they call Manny Ramon to justify the processing of the paperwork? I'm like, okay, cool. And then he really took aim at the chief investigator, Masios. He's like, you saw his demeanor. You have the right to decide how much you believe of his testimony. I'm like, can you imagine being a government prosecutor and having your integrity called out in front of everybody? Like, I can't speak to whether he's good at what he does or anything like that, but I'm like, this guy's job is to be an investigator for the government, not to go. He's not like some private scammer guy, right? So he's like, you could tell if you could trust this guy. Okay. All right, so let's go. What's the next page we got here? Again, these are the notes from the closing arguments yesterday. And then they also mentioned how Masios, the chief investigator, he misplaced his notes. Can't find them. Interesting. Then he talked about the photos. He said, hey, these are bad reports. It's a bad investigation. And this one was about the parole officers, saying that the parole officers were making this up, saying that they wanted Nick Regis out because he's too strict. And then they were saying, hey, Nick realized he made a mistake. He paid the wrong purchase order and tried to do the right thing. Got the contractor to pay it back in January. He said, oh, those are my notes. All right. And then they went to talk about like how Nick and Choi Lam-Fu had the right not to take the stand. So if you can't penalize them for not taking the stand. That was the important part. Yeah, that's it. And so that was pretty much it. And so then I think he closed by saying, look, you're about to go into this room to deliberate. And once you take all this into account, I'm convinced that you're going to return that the government did not meet its burden. Why would he conspire to get paid for work he performed? All right, so he wrapped up. That was a long bit. When did they start? Hold on. I think he went for like a half an hour for his closing arguments. Yeah, so 11. Yeah, 30 minutes, exactly. He used the whole 30 minutes because they're given 30 minutes. He used all of them. All right, then Jim Bob Kingman gets his second bite again. He goes back in there. And while this is happening, I'm watching the face of this one juror who, she seemed like she was really into what Jack was saying. And then when Jim Bob Kingman, I'm just watching her, she's like, she definitely was making all the facial actions. Well, it turns out she was just an alternate, so she won't be making one of those decisions. And one of the decision makers on there. All right, so anyway, then Kingman starts by saying, look, I failed in my duty in this case in one regard. I didn't object when the defense attorney here was calling out the credibility of these two witnesses from the parole office. They're slandering our witnesses, and so he got in on that. And he's like, hey, this is not a clerical error. He said, this is not a clerical error. These are all the decision makers. They knew what was going on. Even the investigator that they had in the case, claimed to have known Nick since they were kids. And he said, this is the only reason why he said it was a clerical error was based on the conversations he had with Nick, which are all hearsay anyway. He also said that, hey, taking shots at the investigator, you might not like the investigator or the way he holds himself or anything, but the investigator's not on trial. What's important is the evidence, and he tried to bring it back to the evidence. He's like, the purchase orders from the parole board, they received all of them except for one, and it wasn't processed through finance. Then they were talking about some of the discrepancies, like what's the difference between a clerical error and what's not. He's like FNS, which is Choi Lam-Fu's company. He said they had 3 people, but the quote was for 4 people. And then he talked about another amount is not 10,000, but it's like 12,200. He's like, look, when you're hearing all this stuff, you probably got a lot of questions about your government, but your government's not on trial right now, too. And we're not trying to punish someone for a simple mistake. That this is not just a clerical error. That this investigation or that clerical error was only being rectified after the investigation started from the Attorney General's office. This was not like, holy cow, I'm just sitting at the office and I realized I got the wrong thing, so I tried to fix it. And that's it. So it's for just being a one-day kind of thing. It's a tough situation because you want to think the best of everybody too. We started the whole thing talking about who we know and how we know these guys and how we got to meet them and our first impressions, and it's like, holy cow, so what's going on this one? We're going to find out what the jury has to say about it. I think I'm most interested in what the jury rolls out. It's going to be a split jury. I mean, they're either just taking a look at everybody. They all share. They're either local Filipino guys, or men and women who are part of it. It's not like it's all Carolinian crew or an all Chamorro crew or an all. It's just so I was trying to read the faces, and then, you know the people, and we're not going to talk about anybody's names, but you know the people, and you start thinking about what are the connections that they have to different people through all this, and is that going to be part of it? There's some people who are pretty close to some folks from the defense, for sure, through their connections. But but does that mean anything? No. They've got a job to do. So I'm curious to hear how long it takes for a verdict to be returned. I don't know. I would imagine it comes today. I would imagine. Let's see. Yeah, I would imagine it comes today. I can't imagine they take too long. They've heard this whole thing for a long time. That's a WhatsApp comment, guys. Sorry. That was a good one, though. One other thing here. Oh, no. Unrelated, but we got to verify this. But I wouldn't doubt that this is a trend that's happening in other places. I don't have a smooth segue for this one. But wow, that message that just came in. Yikes. All right, well, we'll see what happens on that. All right, I'll tell you what. We'll come back. We're going to take a commercial and, a few. And then when we come back, we'll get more into it. I want to say thanks to you guys for tuning in today. We're not going. No, we're not leaving. We're just taking a quick commercial break. We got to give some love to our sponsors because we were on a roll there for a while, talking about all those notes and the trial and all that. Remember, we're here for your phone calls, 789-2323, 670-789-2323. But first, let's get moving on some of these commercials. And by the way, our sponsors are great. And they've got all kinds of different services and things that are happening in the community, and you can be a part of that too. So we'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical-grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician, who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
Hey, I'm Coach Derek Cutting, the owner and founder of Laddie Built Fitness. So no matter who you talk to here at Laddie Built, everyone feels that they are part of a family, part of a group of like-minded people. No one feels judged. No one feels like they're being teased or picked on or looked down upon because maybe they don't know what they're doing. They could be brand new and have no idea what they're doing. They might be overweight or really skinny and feel very self-conscious about themselves. But at Laddie Built, nobody judges here. And if you ask anybody here that might be in better shape than you or even not, but has experience in the gym, they will gladly help you through a workout and teach you a few techniques that can help you. So Laddie Built organically from day one, since the boot camp era, has organically grown this fostered environment of community and being a safe place, but a strong work ethic community of people that want to get work done. All I can say is that I put my heart and soul into it from day one. I treated everyone like that at the boot camp from the very, very beginnings, and everyone at the same time would treat each other like that from the boot camp era as well. And as we grew, as we got into a brick and mortar facility, we got bigger and bigger. I feel like people definitely just take this place as a home, as like their brother and sisters are working out next to them, not their enemy or not their competitor, So organically, it's just the vibe here is different. Everyone feels very, very comfortable, and I love the fact that it happened like that.
Paradise Dental's giving you the gas. Well, not that kind of gas. You already know that Paradise Dental has the most affordable coverage in the entire Marianas, and now we've got something special just for new customers. And now for a limited time, Paradise Dental is offering free gas vouchers for new signups for their coverage plan. If you sign up for a singles plan, you'll get a $10 gas voucher. If you sign up for a couples plan, that's a $15 gas voucher. And if you sign up for the whole family plan, that's a $20 gas voucher right after your first visit. So hurry down to Paradise Dental and sign up for the CNMI's most affordable dental coverage today. These gas vouchers are limited, and with smiles like these, you know they're going to go fast. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. The U.S. amassing firepower in Mideast waters ahead of more nuclear talks with Iran.
Satellite images show the aircraft carrier Carl Vinson and its strike group are now in the Arabian Sea. The carrier Harry S. Truman was already in the region. And U.S. Central Command posted videos of fighter jets launching from the carriers in what it calls 24/7 strikes on Yemen's Iranian-backed Houthi rebels. The strikes come as U.S. and Iranian negotiators prepare to follow up on last weekend's talks.
Positive, constructive, compelling.
U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff tells Fox News Channel's Hannity the aim is to solve the nuclear issue diplomatically. Iran's supreme leader endorsed progress in the talks, saying we shouldn't be overly optimistic or pessimistic. But he did note, of course, we don't fully trust them. We know who we're dealing with. Sagar Magani, Washington.
In Gaza, an Israeli airstrike struck the gate of a hospital, killing a medic and wounding 9 other people. Hundreds of thousands have sought shelter in sprawling tent camps there. A federal judge says she'll order sworn testimony by Trump administration officials to determine if they complied with orders to facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, mistakenly deported to El Salvador. In a defense argument rejected.
A judge has upheld all charges against the driver charged with killing hockey players Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau while they bicycled in New Jersey. The ruling comes after defense lawyers Tuesday argued that the brothers may have contributed to their deaths by cycling while intoxicated. Judge Michael Silvanio says that's not relevant under New Jersey criminal law. Witnesses tell police they were riding single file on the edge of the road when driver Sean Higgins swerved around another vehicle and hit them last August. Prosecutors say Higgins was impaired by alcohol and fueled by road rage. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
This is AP News. Japanese regulators have accused Google of violating anti-monopoly laws, echoing similar moves in the U.S. and Europe. The Japan Fair Trade Commission's cease and desist order says Google must stop pre-installation of its search engine in Android smartphones. And Seth Sutel has today's AP Markets report.
Stocks drifted their way through a rare, quiet day on Wall Street. The S&P 500 slipped 0.2% Tuesday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 155 points. It's about 0.4%. The Nasdaq Composite edged down less than 0.1%. The modest moves were a respite for Wall Street following weeks of huge swings caused by President Trump's trade war. Trading in bonds and the dollar were also calmer. Those markets also had sudden moves last week, which had raised worries that U.S. government bonds and the dollar might be losing their status as safe haven investments. Treasury yields eased. The yield on the 10-year Treasury fell to 4.33%. Seth Sutel, New York.
And I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
All right, Marianas. It is 8:33 in the morning. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. And it is getting over the hump day if you are a road work person for GPPC, because today's the last day. They still have to repave the intersection over there at the old AK intersection. That's right. It's not done yet. They still have another coat. Then they have to repaint it and everything because it drops off. It's like a ski jump, right? And they are working on it, and it's getting there. By the way, we got some feedback from DPS. You know, we were talking about this with these guys earlier, and you want to know, like, so what's the disposition? We got all these tips on this guy. of who the bad guy is that we saw in the video. Now, do we know who he is? No, we don't know his name that we can confirm, although a lot of people have told us about it. But we'll show you, and we'll show you that this is the video that you guys have sent to us, so that we know who's there and everything like that. But so we sent everything that we got from all of you guys over to DPS, and they're going to have the folks from the Criminal Investigation Bureau go out there and get them. So they're going to be looking for him, and we're going to hear back. So they didn't pick him up yet, but they are definitely looking for this guy. And if you know who he is, again, you can call DPS yourself, 664-9001. And if they get him, great. We haven't gotten anything else from anybody else, but that's like the big thing. They're looking for him, and they're going to be looking for him this morning. If you know that guy, you can confirm it, because they're going to need people to confirm it for sure. And, you know, I mean, that's a pretty damning video right there. You got the crime as it happened, right? He's talking all nice. See the lady, whoop, just slaps it in the bag right there. Like, you're really just playing that lady for a fool, and that's terrible. Like, you betrayed her trust. I bet she felt bad about it, too. Like, how could this happen when I was working? You know? It's a sad, sad thing. So that's the guy. That's the guy who did it, and that's the crime as it happens. There's nothing alleged in this. You can't make me say alleged. You're watching the crime happen, right? That's it. This guy did it, right there. Here it comes, and he's there. Whoop, just pops it right in there. Just sad. Right? There you go. All right, well, guys, they definitely need your help at DPS if you know who he is. Go ahead and let them know. I'm sure there's people who know. But again, you guys have sent me a lot of info about this guy, and we sent all of it. We sent all of it to DPS. And we didn't send your names either. We only sent what you guys sent us, because that's our promise to you, that we will send it to them, and we will not divulge your identity. Yeah, so we are a safe place for you to report the bad guys. And DPS won't give us a hard time about it either. And if they did, well, they're our friends. They're not going to give us a hard time about it. And we won't divulge you as a source for this stuff either. We're just going to put it in the hands of the people who are trying to fight the bad guys and fight crime in our community. And that's it. Yeah, Connie says, why do you steal for a small amount? It's not worth it. Yeah, you know, I thought about that as well. But, you know, even stealing the big amount, it's kind of like, I could see how you can get tempted to do it. But what do they say? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. I don't want to do the time. That's it. Like, I think that's the deterrent. I would not want to do the time. I don't want to go to jail and lose my life and my family and then come back out, and then what? Then, you know, people are going to be looking at you like, you're not coming over for the barbecue. Hey, can I use your phone? No. Hey, can I use your bathroom? No. Hey, can I get some water? No. Just no. Thanks, Frank. That's why you're Frank Facts, because you got all that. Yeah, Frank says, I'm pretty sure he's Pacific Islander based on his shirt. That is the kind of analysis we need on our show for all the stuff that we cover. Outstanding. But again, so DPS hasn't got the guy yet, but they will give us an update today. Detectives will be out on the mean streets of, but I mean, people told us where he lives. I'm like, geez, that's great. A lot of people are upset by this. It's a medical fundraiser for somebody's family. Of course people are upset about it, you know? People are rightly upset about it, you know? So this guy's gonna get it. He's definitely made a mistake. He's gonna end up going he'll face justice for it for sure. And then, you know, we'll move on. But like in the meantime, it's like, oh man, yeah, that's pretty crappy, dude. Don't be that guy. It's just, and And, oh man, what do you do if that's one of your family members? You know, what do you do? Like, yeah, I mean, like, that trust stuff and everything, that's Uncle so-and-so. You know, just don't let him in the house by himself. You got to stay with him the whole time. You know, like, if you're taking from somebody's medical referral, you know, you gotta watch him in the church. It says he needs some milk. For real. All right. Well, hey, we're still on the show. If you got any thoughts about any of this stuff, you know, you can give us a call. The number is 789-2323, 670-789-2323. It's not related to this stuff, but did you guys get those videos also about what was going down in Chuk with the swearing in of the new governor? They got some election controversy and all this. And when I go on the Chuk news agencies, they're all in Chukese. I can't read it, but like it looks like there's some crazy stuff going on over there in Chuk with regards to all this. And I don't know what happened with the election, but it looks just wild. And again, we got video sent to us. We could watch the actual swearing in, and everything looks honky-dory until it isn't anymore. And like the police are involved and everything. It's just a wild situation. So what we'd like to do is find out oh, jeez. I wonder what happened because they declared a state of emergency. But I wonder that follow-up video that we got that somebody sent. In fact, I mean, it's a lot of people screaming and yelling. And again, it's all like, I can't tell you about it because I don't really know about it. But, you know, this stuff got sent to us, and it's pretty sad. What is this? Oh, we got this. Where's this from? All right, we'll put that out. Thank you so much for sending that. We'll send that out. Let me go back and find the actual thing, and I'll pop it on here for you. But it was sad. Like, and so people sent us this other stuff. So we reached out to the folks, our Chukese community, to find out what's going on. They're like, yes, several of these videos are going around. The chaos in Chuk due to a highly contested, if not questionable, election and drama and the swearing-in ceremony and everything. And we'll put this over here so I can read it this way. Here's a post that says, troubling developments are happening in Chuk right now. Director of the election, Takamichi Mori, has been arrested, and there were also intentions to arrest the president of the House of Senate, Arno Koni, though the reasons are unclear. What is more alarming is how the so-called police task force activated under the state of emergency to protect the public now appears to be using force against the very people they meant to serve. Reports say that the President Koni's son was struck with a police baton while trying to shield his father from harm. He said this is no longer about law and order, but about protecting lives and restoring peace. If there was ever a time to declare a real state of emergency to stop the harm and bring calm, it's now. Again, this is stuff that we're getting from our friends in the Chukese community. The trying to get the translation on it is a little wild. Here's, let's see if I can share this with you guys here real quick. This stuff that we're talking about. And we can show you like the actual state of emergency. Here's the window. We're going to go for this. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. Let me just change the dimensions on that screen so you can see it a little bit better. This is kind of the best that we got. We got the actual state of emergency order that was declared while all this stuff was happening. And, it's just wild. They said that they wanted to do this for the swearing-in ceremony that was yesterday. Again, this all the heavy stuff that we got sent to us was from yesterday. And by the way, their state of emergency looks like a proclamation that we do. Whereas, and now, therefore. And so that was it. So the governor of Chuk declared the state of emergency for that swearing-in ceremony. But I would love to have a good conversation with somebody who's actually there to tell us, what's going on and what's on the ground. Like, that good interview that we had with the folks from Palau. If we could have one like that kind of level, that would be great. Here, let's see what I got. If I could put this on here for you guys as well. Yeah, this is the video that we saw on the Speak Up page, right? Hold on one sec. Yeah, and unfortunately, again, I got it. Well, you can't see it. Let me get that music out. The focus is not all that great, but so if we could find out more about what's going on from a good source in Chuk to really let us know what's going on. We're not going to pretend and say that we know any of the politics or the folks involved. We don't. But more about... Yeah, more about just get a real good, solid word on the ground, like what's happening from folks who could tell us that stuff. So we started looking for it, some contacts out there, and hopefully that'll give us something so we can bring it to you and let you know more about it. I mean, it's interesting. We got a big Chukese community here that's gonna have, they're gonna want to know what's going on, and they probably know what they're hearing about it too. And so it's relevant for here because these are, they're part of our Pacifica community, and the Federated States of Micronesia, then they're even contemplating independence, like Chukese independence away from the rest of the FSM. So I do know a little bit about it, but again, I'm not the guy who knows all about Chuk. So finding out more about it, and maybe you've got some ideas of where I can go to get more stuff. Like some of the sites that we found, they don't exist anymore. Again, finding a real reliable source of news from the Federated States of Micronesia is what I'm really searching for. And then something that we could provide and give you guys something that's reliable. So we're going to continue working on that today. After we wrap the show today, we got a couple of meetings going on in the morning. And then this afternoon, we're going to hear more about the ship that's coming in. So, oh man, he says, I'm glad we don't, and Frank, this is Frank, he said, I'm glad we don't get too intense about our politics here. I know he's joking. I know he's joking about that. Frank, you're killing me today, man. You're awesome. You're absolutely getting me today. It's awesome. All right. What else do we want to get to? Well, first of all, again, remind you, you can give us a call, 789-2323. I could use a good joke right about now. If you guys got one, give us a call, 789-2323. We did get one good joke that was sent to us earlier. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Here we go. What do the Laddie-built gym goers say when they don't make it on time for the workout? I'm groaning inside even before I say this answer. This is sent to us from you, viewers. The joke is, what do Laddie-built gym goers say when they don't make it on time for their workout? Better Laddie than never. Oh. Like, I had such a hard time reading that out loud. I didn't come up with that one. I give you credit for it. That is a great bad joke. Like, that is a groaner. We'll take all kinds here. If you got good jokes, we'll take them. If you got groaners, we'll take them. But I'd love to hear it if you got one. We could definitely use a good one. I hope you got a good one. Let's see what we got. Oh, today was the beach cleanup day for the kiddos. That's awesome. All right. Oh, gosh. I have a friend who is a terrible joke teller. That's not true. She's good at telling jokes. She's good at telling bad jokes. And we are part of the same team on that. And that is who sent this, Bea. So Keep them coming, though. Keep them coming. But if you guys got them, for sure, bring them our way. All right. Hey, we talked a little bit about that yesterday, about the governor vetoing that gaming initiative, about that digital currency. Sorry, I'm latte. That's a good one. It was close. Luisa says, I was going to say, I thought the sign said late built. Okay, that's a good one. These are better punchlines. I like these better. You guys see, this is it. We can workshop these jokes. I like it. Sorry, I'm latte. These are good. I definitely like these. So we talked about how this thing in Tinian went down with the Tinian stable coin, Tinian bucks. I don't know. What do you want to call them? I mean, like, there's no real name, but the Tinian e-commerce, like the e-coin for Tinian, and got vetoed. They're like, hey, Governor, the Attorney General's like, you can't just have like Tinian currency. It doesn't work that way. Well, it's not currency. It's just a coin. And like, yeah, you can't do that. So the governor vetoed it after the AG is like, you can't do that. He's like, all right, well, AG said I can't do it. You can't do it. So bam. So it turns out Tinian, not exactly happy about it. They thought that it was going to be good to go based on the initial feedback they received from the Attorney General's office, and it wasn't, but it's too bad. Oh no, this is gonna be rough. Bruce, here. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Here's the joke from Bruce Camacho. Why did Brad bring a ladder to his live stream? All right, we're looking in your comments. Let's see. Because he wanted to take his Good Morning Marianas audience to new heights right after they woke up. Oh my gosh. Dude. You and Bea, you got to join the club. I'm in that club. But I give you a lot of credit. You came out, you brought it. I'll take good jokes and I'll take bad jokes. And I'll take dad jokes. I'll take the jokes that you got. Don't ban me. You are not getting banned. No. Believe me, this is what makes this morning show work. These kind of jokes and people like you. This is the best. Anyway, oh no. Here we go. This is AJ. All right, AJ Pagarao. All right, here we go. He said, a good friend of mine told me this at work. I spent $300 on a limo and just found out the fee doesn't include a driver. I spent all that money and have nothing to show for it. That's next level stuff right there, AJ. That's good. That's the next level up. I love that. That is great. Nothing to show for it. I like it. Tobot's right on the money said, corny people like us is what keeps this show on the road. Indeed it does. This is the best way to start closing out the show for the day. Again, once we wrap up here, we're going to slide out down the stairs and get ourselves over to our next meeting that we got this morning. Again, busy day in the world, and we're going to keep you up to date when we get the update from DPS if they get the guy who they suspect is the guy from the video. Again, you know how we're always so careful about saying allegedly and suspect and all this other stuff. But in this case, we know who he is. Well, I don't know what his name is, but we know on the video who the bad guy is, right? We know that the bad guy is that guy because he stole the fundraising jar. Tony Beneventi, great to see you. Good morning. Great to see you, man. Really, thanks for tuning in. It's great to see you send messages from time to time, too. Here it comes. Did I miss it already? Yep, there's a smile. Bloop. I'm just going to slide this into my little bag, and then I'm out of here. Tobot says, we're so bad that Good Friday is coming up. Oh, man, that's a groaner. That's a groaner. We'll take it. Oh, man. So this is the guy for DPS. So we got bad jokes and bad guys. That's the last couple minutes of the show. But he's a good guy. He's my cousin. Like, he's cool. I'm like, all right. Well, okay, well, this just is not a good moment for him. This was, it was reported in the morning, so I don't know what time. The video doesn't show a timestamp, so I don't know if this was a late at night thing or something, but the video, the report came to DPS at 7:28 in the morning. So maybe it was like the night before, but, you know, what are you going to do? All right, I think that's about it, guys. Any other bad jokes? Any other good jokes rolling in? We'll take them. And here's another thing, too. If you guys have like a real good media connection with somebody, like a news person or a government official, like a good relationship with them that you can put me together with them, please do. I want to have a good media contact in Chuk. FSM would be great. If we can get Chuk specifically to talk about this particular issue, that would be awesome. If you got FSM, like somebody in particular there, then we'll do that as well. We're starting to get more news from throughout Micronesia and let everybody know what's happening out here. And it's a lot of fun. We kind of, like, there's no real agency that does all that kind of stuff, but wouldn't it be cool if that's us? Wouldn't it be cool? I mean, it is. We end up doing a lot of reporting on other people's reporting, I guess, is how we end up just copying the story. Like, when you see it from the news agencies we got now, we're reporting on their stuff. But what if we just have them on to talk about it? I mean, I think that's the cool thing. Hey, tomorrow, we're going to have some folks come in here. Yeah, we can take bad guy off the screen for a little bit. Tomorrow, we're going to have some swimmers from the Saipan Swim Club. They're going to be joining us in the studio to talk about a trip that they've got coming up. They're trying to raise some money as well. They've got another trip. You know, last time they went to Hong Kong, and now I can't actually remember where they're going this time. But the good thing is that they're coming. They're doing a bunch of fundraising activities that they're going to come on and talk to us about tomorrow morning at 7:30. And these guys are kicking some butt. And now we're going to try to help them by supporting them, like by getting the word out about everything they're doing. And we can do that for you too. Let us know what you've got going on so we can do that. Let's get this out there. What is this exactly? Saipan tree list. All right, so I'll put this up on the old monitor for you. Let me get the share screen going because this is what came our way. Just need to change the window that it's coming from. It is coming from WhatsApp. Okay, there we go. I'm going to have to zoom in on it a little bit so you guys can see all that stuff. You don't need all the rest of it. That look good? Oh my God, this is from like a year ago. No, from earlier this year. This is from PCRP. It's about forestry and trees and stuff like that. So hold on, let me move this up and move this down a little bit. So it's, there we go. Free trees. No, this is not a movement to get trees freed. This is it. But it says free trees. PCRP is offering free native fruit-bearing trees and shade trees to residents, along with planting and short-term maintenance services. Holy cow, this is like the best thing ever. You can join them in creating a healthier, more resilient environment for our islands, and you can apply today and grow with them. How cool is this? So hit that, you can hit that code, and you'll be good to go. What is down here exactly? It says these trees are provided thanks to the USDA, that's the United States Department of Agriculture, Forest Service, Urban and Community Forest Program. These institutions are equal opportunity providers. You've got the phone number down there along with their Instagram handle and their website. This is pretty cool. I'll tell you what, we just moved to a new house, And this house, our other place had trees, but this one's got a lot of fruit-bearing trees, and holy cow, what a difference. We've got 1 million mountain apples, 1 million those little citrus, some of the real big oranges, not the pomelos. I know what those are. This are like oranges. And there's bananas, there's coconuts. Ooh, mango. This is going to be a great mango tree. And on top of that, we got an avocado tree. And I'm not talking a sapling. I'm talking like a full-on mature avocado tree that's got some of the best avocados, because everybody's already asking me for avocados. I'm like, hey, it's not even that season yet. They're like, no, but when they come, can I? And I'm like, yes, you can. So pretty awesome. So you can, if you have an agricultural homestead, that's great, but you can plant these at your house. You can have this at your house, and they're going to grow and they're going to be fruiting. Now, some of them take a while to fruit. What do they say? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, right? Doesn't matter. Do it now. And then let that tree grow with you and let it grow with your family, and you guys can enjoy it. Do we have avocado farm here? I don't know that we do, but I'll tell you what. There's one up in Conatabla. There's a valley that runs by the Cannock Gardens, and it is a valley of avocados. I've gone through there and seen people walking out with big sacks full of avocados that they just went through and got. Oh, my mom's there. Good morning, Mom. Love you too. Thanks for watching. How cool is that? My mom is watching from New York. I mean, I imagine New York. Who knows? She could be somewhere else. But thanks for tuning in and watching. We're actually, Mom, we're getting ready to wrap up the show. I've been on for a little bit this morning, and I got a meeting to go to in a little bit. But thanks so much. I'll call you when we get done. I'll chat it up a little bit on the way. We also have soursop at the house. We are in the best spot. I got great neighbors. I have, we've got a house from a great family that's here, with all that fruit and all that, and the coconuts. There's coconuts too. We got it all. Bananas. There's even bananas. They're fruiting too. So we got all that stuff. We got it kind of made. So. All right, guys. Well, that's what we got for you today. We're going to wrap up. That is all the show. So we will go ahead and look forward to talking to you guys throughout the day and letting you know what's going on. Ooh, let's go do this. Awesome. Oh, this is great. I didn't know about this. We'll be here. I'm going to have to... This is a big development for us. We're going to have some cool new stuff from Marianas Air Cargo Services this morning. That was not on our thing, but I guess we're doing it today. So that'll be pretty cool. And Mom, you're watching my mom is watching right now on the Good Morning Marianas page, I think. So she might not be able to see all your comments, but Mom, if you're still watching, everybody's saying everything. Good morning to you as well on the NMI News Service page. So that's how cool is that? I just absolutely love it. All right, you guys, we're out of here. I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with the show and supporting the show. And we'll be back with you tomorrow morning with more of this. We'll have the swimmers and other folks. So have a great day. Good to see you, Joseph. Good to see you, too.
Rota, Guam, Sabin, and Tinian for all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views, it's always so much fun on Good Morning Marianas.
Pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.